I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter. If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
Smudge the paint.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect whatever it is hostile.
I agree with the captain. Now is the time for diplomacy.
Agreed. You're human. Oh, we're human. From the planet Earth in the Sol system. Oh, pardon my ignorance. We just didn't expect to find people out here. We didn't think anyone else left Earth before us.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship, Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago. I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by, well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others. Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first. Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
We've got strict rules
He gathered
around
the best
here,
and brightest
but
he
they're
could
strict
find,
for a reason.
built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years, with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. I think I'm coming up on 6 years now? I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? I wish I could say that the satisfaction of helping others in need is sufficient, but I'm not getting that impression from you. I'm sure we can pull together some resources equivalent to whatever currency you use these days. We'll do what we can to make it worthwhile. And until then, you're free to make use of whatever facilities you need on our ship. We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them. We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were here before us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assume that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. When we left Earth, there were no claims to planets this far out into space. We had assumed that we were the only ones attempting a generational journey such as this, meaning that there would be no need for a formal claims process. Regardless, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, did manage to file a charter for this planet's first colony to be named New Jamestown. According to his records, no one took it seriously when he filed it, so likely it was either ignored or the records were lost to the ages. Given humanity's lack of interest in colonizing the far reaches of space at the time, it shouldn't have been a problem, but again, here we are now. Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet. Excellent. Make no mistake, this is our planet, and we intend for them to see this our way. So, speak with their leadership and see if you can negotiate a solution on our behalf. Preferably, get them to see things our way. Report back to me and let me know what they say, and we'll go from there. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world. I'm serious. We have a rightful claim to this land, and I intend to fight for it. But as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come a very long way to be here. Thank you.
I'm not sure how else to live.
Hey! So it is true. An actual stranger aboard our ship? Wow.
I just don't think it's fair to the rest of us.
We don't get any. We never expected to meet anyone else traveling the stars. But if you're here, that must mean there are others. Kind of incredible that we never bumped into anyone. Either we took a strange route, or the vastness of space just makes chance encounters unlikely. Maybe some combination of the two. Either way, I'm so relieved to find out that we're not alone out here. Oh, geez. Sorry, of course you don't know my name. We never met. I'm Yue. Wow, I never thought this would happen. Well, we're all kind of new to this as well, so you're in good company. It's incredible. I'm pretty excited to meet new people and ask them all sorts of questions. I wonder about all we've missed this whole time while humanity has advanced around us. Oh, I'm the navigation officer, though I switch between nav and piloting. I'll be honest, the ship pretty much flies itself. Its destination hasn't changed since it launched, and we're here now, so I'm not sure what's next. See, the nav system's not perfect. We encounter stuff that our forebears didn't originally count on. Astral bodies, space debris, stuff like that. So sometimes I need to take manual control and get out of tricky situations. Then there was the time I used those unaccounted for anomalies to our advantage. Slingshotted us around a few stars that weren't supposed to be there, saved some fuel and knocked a few decades off our journey. Pretty incredible stuff. Take care of yourself out there, eh?
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
I know Captain Brackenridge has essentially given you free rein to wander the ship.
but security will still be watching you closely. I hope you understand, given we have so little experience with people from the outside. It pays to take security seriously. Something I understand much better now than in my youth.
I wonder how many other planets are out there that we can live on. I bet there's a million.
Huh. You're less weird than I thought you would be.
I was just thinking of all the knowledge we can share between us and the other Earth survivors. Hello there. Given that I don't know you, you must be this visitor I've been hearing so much about. I'm Julia, the Constant's chief historian. It's nice to meet you on this momentous occasion. If you ask around, people will either tell you my job is absolutely critical to the mission, or I just hang out, read, and watch movies. There's more to it than that. Officially, I'm assigned to the role of chief historian. Generations ago, it used to be lore-keeper of humanity, but that seemed a bit too lofty. While I don't think my job is as important as captain, engineering officer, or cultivation manager, it's still vital to our mission. I run the educational programs aboard the ship for all the children and any adults who are looking to learn about Earth history. We try to have group sessions some evenings where we read old Earth literature, watch old films, listen to music, and the like. So yes, I hang out with children and watch movies, but it's more involved than that. We historians are charged with keeping Earth culture alive, so that we never forget where we came from. Of course. Everyone was assigned their roles here. We don't choose our roles, since there are only so many of us, and every job is critical. Someone has to prove themselves either exceptionally bad at their job, or exceptionally good at another, in order to be moved. But that rarely happens. I do. But sometimes it's frustrating to convince some people that my job is important, since it's not directly related to our continued survival. There was a time where I thought my sister was the lucky one, running the hydroponics farm and being responsible for feeding everyone on board. But I grew to like my work, and working with children is nice, especially since I'll never have any of my own. It's okay. I don't mind you asking. I'm actually proud of my choice. It's a great honor to give up one's ability to have a family so that others may. As you can imagine, a population limit is a necessity on board a colony ship. I made my choice long ago to give others the chance to have a larger family should they wish. Though, I suppose I don't need to worry about that now. Maybe it's time to consider it. Thanks for saying so. As chief historian, I can tell you a lot, probably. What do you want to know? We're the descendants of wealthy elites, intellectuals, artists, scientists, and others who left Earth in 2040 to spread humanity to the stars. The thinking was that Earth's days were numbered for a variety of reasons. Our finder, Rupert Brackenridge, had the foresight to plan for the worst. Thus, he constructed this colony ship to settle what seemed like the most habitable planet we could find, knowing full well it would take generations to reach. We suspected that we may have been the only ones to leave Earth, given that no one else seemed to have the same idea. I'm glad we appeared to be wrong. Well, we launched Tuesday, September 27th, 2140. So, about 190 years now. Would have been longer, but it turns out we have an ace navigator who saved us some time with some tricky maneuvers. ECS stands for Earth Colony Ship. We wanted a fairly inclusive name to represent the planet, and not a particular nation of origin. There was an old colony ship that sailed across the oceans of Earth from a country called England to settle on a new continent. It was called either the Susan or Sarah Constant. No one seems to know for sure, so ours was shortened to just Constant. Ironically enough, that ship also reached what they thought was new land, and found it populated when they arrived. As chief historian, I can tell you a lot, probably. What do you want to know? You know where to find me if you ever want to know more. Goodbye.
I bet you've been on lots of cool space. I don't know why. Just like in the old movies. Okay. Captain Brackenridge says the future is bright, but I think the Constant was pretty bright too, so I don't really know what she means.
Miss Yang said we are experiencing history right now, and that there will be books written about us. I'm gonna be in a book. I'm glad you're not an alien, but that would have been so cool.
I heard you came from outside the ship. I bet it was pretty cold out there. My mom and dad were scared when you came on board, but I don't know why. You seem okay.
Important or not, I'm ready to listen. Leaving? Oh, I see how it is.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship. Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
And to think, all this time, we thought we were alone.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
I wonder what it's like out there beyond our little community.
Wow. Hi.
So much more to learn about now.
It's almost time to take inventory of our stock again. Hi there. Oh! Nice to meet you. And that's true. As you can imagine, everyone kind of just knows each other around here. Meeting new people isn't really a thing for us. I mean, I don't appreciate you telling me I just need to get over it, but you're not wrong. Everything changed when you arrived. I suspect I'll need to get used to the idea of strangers. Anyway, sorry for freezing up before. I just didn't expect our visitor from the outside to stop by and chat with me. I figured, if anything, you'd be with the captain. I'm Daisuke, the ship's provisions manager. I'm not sure what I can offer you, but if I can help, I will. And if not, I'm happy just to talk. We manage. I know back on Earth, there used to be stores all over the place. Some that even specialize in specific types of goods, if you can imagine. But here, this is it. We have very limited supplies. Most of our stuff is recycled. Even the food. In a roundabout way, if you know what I mean. It works out for the most part, because it has to. You'll sense a running theme with that around here. Not really. Things don't work that way here. It's not a shop like you hear about in the books and movies, or, where you're probably from. Almost everything is communal or shared in some way, but sometimes people want a little something extra or special for themselves. So when that happens, they come to me. Mostly, I just keep track of the ship's inventory and help ration the supplies so we don't run out. Take care.
Oh, I've heard of this technology, but always believed it was theoretical in nature. Maybe we can talk about it in more detail later. I'm sure you have more pressing matters to handle. I've waited this long. What's a little longer, eh? Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today. Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend. Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here. Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubblegum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on, and the ship flying. Ah, great question. I do not know for sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work, or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way. Yes! So many! Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time. I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there. Haha! I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pulling together nearly all of their financial resources. Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right. Ah, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I can have a bit of a big personality, I'm told. So let me know if I ever get on your nerves. Careful not to touch anything on your way out.
Hey there. Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see what it can do.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
Setting down, everything in the green.
As we were landing, I picked up a message from Aja. She said to meet us at the park overlooking the ocean. Before we go to the ceremony, I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me this is exactly what you want. I don't know. I suppose I'm worried that I'm forcing you down a path you don't want to travel. Yeah, I know, it's stupid. But you've done so much for me already. I almost feel like you'd marry me just to make me happy, despite your own feelings. I just melt when I hear you say things like that to me. I love you, and I'm forever thankful to have someone as amazing as you in my life. Now come on, Aja is waiting for us. But first, we should probably say something to my mother.
I love coffee. It's my second favorite thing in the galaxy, next to reading about you.
Welcome back, Mr. Tofik. I am aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer you today?
Actually, a question. Usually when I come here, the shuttle takes a certain route, showing me the beauty of this world. But this time, our entries seem to take longer, and we pass by a lot more open water. Was there something wrong with our normal flight path? I heard the rumors of a ship in orbit.
Please allow me to apologize for this inconvenience. This alternate entry was required due to a meteor shower affecting the usual descent route. Nothing to worry about. To make up for this, allow me to credit your account with a 15% discount on spa amenities. Once again, we are dreadfully sorry.
It's okay, Viator. I know you're programmed to be overly concerned with your service. I just wanted to know why. But thank you for crediting my account anyway. Hey, I noticed you arriving at port shortly after I did. Something's been bothering me, and I've been dying to ask another guest. They told us there was a very active meteor shower, which is why we had to divert our flight path coming in for our landing. But I haven't seen a single shooting star since I've been here. That's weird, right? Oh, that's fair. I'll just have to ask around. The view coming in is so beautiful. You should really take the shuttle here sometime. Unless, of course, they've done away with that flight path for some reason. I sure hope not. Anyway, enjoy your stay. Sorry for bothering you.
This is your first time here. Thank you for choosing Paradiso for your vacation destination.
So, what's new with you today? If it means I get to spend more time with you, then ask away. Absolutely. Sona is clever, and she's proven that she can tackle anything life throws in her path. You can rest assured that she will get the best education and care that Constellation can possibly provide. You know, Sona and I share an interesting bond. We both survived on that inhospitable world, and it drastically altered our lives. Most importantly, though, I'm certain we're both stronger after the experience. There was a particular someone back in my days with the UC Navy. We actually became quite close at first. But as I rose in rank, I became more interested in my career than what she needed from me. I let her drift away. By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late. She requested a transfer, and I lost touch. Anyway, I've dated other men and women at various points in my life, but I'd hardly classify any of them as relationships. As you might have guessed, I tend to concentrate on work and let my personal feelings fall by the wayside. It often drives others away. Certainly. I always enjoy our little chats. Take care of yourself.
It may be paradise, but that doesn't mean we don't run into trouble from time to time. Enjoy your stay knowing you're in our capable hands.
Why did I think 3 days was going to be enough? Not to be a downer, but this place is almost too perfect, right? I guess I have to admit, this resort isn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
We try to stay out of the guests' way, but we're always here if needed.
Oh, Paradiso is absolutely beautiful. Can you possibly imagine a more tranquil place for a resort? Always a pleasure. Hope we can talk later.
Oh, I got sand in my shoes again. Hi. Sorry. I'm fairly new here, so sorry in advance if I screw something up. I'm just glad I don't work on the luxury cruisers that bring people here.
You're perfect the way you are. But if you ever want a change, I'm here for you. Why, hello, darling. Welcome to Enhanced Paradiso. You too can use our services to help you feel as good about your appearance as I do mine. We can make you thinner, larger, change your hair, your face, or even your sex. Anything you want. Or perhaps I can interest you in the Paradiso Getaway Bundle promotion. This is a one-time offer for new Paradiso customers. Once you decline, it's gone. We simply book 2 sessions for you for a greatly reduced price. Why, you might ask? Many Paradiso guests come to get away from their normal lives, and often they like to believe what happens here stays here. So, they will change their appearance not only when they get here to engage in some fun, but also when they leave to go back to their normal lives. Oh no, I know that some other enhanced hosts might do that as a way to upsell our services, but not me. No. No. Here I only want you to be comfortable with who you are. You should not feel pressured by anyone else to look one way or another. Being happy with your body comes from pleasing yourself, not by pleasing others. Wonderful. You won't regret it. I'll keep track of your 2 enhanced sessions in our system. We can get to work on you whenever you're ready. Oh, you're too pure for this world. Yes, especially when on vacation. Oh, don't look so surprised, darling. Have you ever seen someone come back from a break looking more refreshed and vibrant than ever? It's not uncommon for people to get little touch-ups while away. Better that than risk the embarrassment of bumping into friends at their local enhance. That's very kind of you to say. I have put many credits into my appearance, and I am proud of how I look. There is no shame in paying to look good. I regularly use enhanced services. A little tweak here or there every so often keeps things interesting. And the fact that it is hard to notice proves the quality of our work. Sure. Let me just deduct 1 session from your account and we'll be ready to go.
Everything here is a little more expensive than I expected. Guess that's how they get you. No one's going to care if I call out sick from work for another week, right?
What a nice day, huh? Hey, hope you're enjoying yourself.
Hey there. Glad to see you again. Hope we can talk later.
It's lovely here. If I could just stay here forever, I would. This is probably the best vacation I've ever taken.
Why did I think 3 days was going to be enough? I was worried about my beach body until I spoke with that lady at Enhance here.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sukiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso group pays top dollar for top-notch security. And I dare say we're some of the best in the business. We have to be out here on the fringes of the settled systems. Honestly, it's not as exciting as you might think most of the time. More often than not, we're just handling drunk and disorderly conduct. Heck, even pirates leave us alone for the most part. I think it's because some of them actually vacation here. As long as they're not bothering anyone, we've been told not to worry about them. Something I can help you with? Ah, it has a name. Good. Then you're already familiar with the situation, I take it. Do you know what they want? Interesting. We obviously have no records of a colony ship claiming this planet. Whatever the case, you'll need to speak with Oliver Campbell, a CEO for the Paradiso Group. He's in charge of bringing all formal decisions before the board and helping to make calls on them. I'll let him know you're on your way.